Hey everyone, welcome to 10-minute yoga. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and begin in mountain pose. So just standing upright, taking some nice deep breaths. Having our fingers spread and our feet below our hips. From here, we're going to go ahead and move into moonflowers. So we're going to be spreading our feet out nice and wide. We're going to be lifting up our arms a little bit, coming down into a bit of a squat, bringing those elbows in towards your rib cage and coming back up. From there, we're going to go ahead and circle up our arms so we can get into sunflowers. So coming forward, hinging from the hip and coming back up. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our feet a little bit closer together, and we're going to come into chair flow. We're going to start with our palms facing down, which is, I know, different than we normally do. Standing up, bringing our arms up, back and around, and coming back into chair pose. Standing up, arms back and around, and chair pose. Arms up, back and around, chair pose. 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 We're going to go ahead and come into a standing position. We're going to do a more angular swan dive and a reverse swan dive. So what that's going to look like is we're going to go ahead and have our arms bent at 90 degrees to our side. We're going to hinge forward at the hip, allowing our arms to kind of go with us. Then we're going to go ahead and bring our head a little bit down and having our hands in contact with the mat. For reverse swan dive, we're going to start to come up the same way that we went down. But our knees are staying bent the entire time. Feels so quiet without the water fountain. It ran out of water. All right, perfect. From there, let's do one more. We're just going to do the swan dive aspect of it. We're going to step back, coming into downward dog. And in downward dog, we're going to go ahead and pedal our feet. So bringing our right heel towards the mat while being on the ball of our foot for our left foot. And switching. Two more. All right, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and bring our knees nice and wide on the mat for child's pose. From there, going ahead, coming into tabletop, so we can do cat-cow. So raising our head, raising our bottom as we inhale, and as we exhale, our head lowers, or the top of our head lowers towards the mat, and we arch our back. And I do apologize for hitting the camera with my face. Or the microphone, I mean. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do that opposite arm, opposite leg, extension, bringing your leg and your arm back down so you can switch sides. All right, from there, we're going to go ahead, open up our knees, come back into child's pose, coming into a kneeling plank, down to kneeling crocodile, and pushing ourselves back into child's pose. Kneeling plank, kneeling crocodile, and back into child's pose. Kneeling plank, kneeling crocodile, and back into child's pose. Kneeling plank, kneeling crocodile, and back into child's pose. Kneeling plank, kneeling crocodile, and back into child's pose. Going ahead, coming into tabletop real quick so we can go ahead and curl our toes underneath to get into downward dog. Really pushing through with your palms. Taking one step forward, the other one meets it. We're going to bend our knees. Come into that reverse warrior. Into that reverse swan dive. Lowering our hands and ending in mountain pose. Taking a few deep breaths right here. And that is it for today's 10-minute yoga. I am so glad that you joined me today. I hope that now you feel a little bit more invigorated, ready to have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video. Be well, stay wild.